Are you having issues with attacking? In this video, we will cover up the most important things that people and possibly you need to know. I have done the defense part, so if you're interested in checking it out, it's in the top right corner. I'll go over multiple examples so you can understand me fully. We'll separate this video in two parts, during the action round and before the round. Let's start with during the round. One of the things that bothers me is not putting enough pressure. We will separate this in two parts, one being more obvious, whereas the other one, even some pro teams are failing to do that. Let's take an example of hookah and pull attack when you're doing hookah push. If you will be pushing defenders from below and then try to plant in hookah whilst having your plant covered, such as from hookah window and from the hookah balcony. That won't work against proper teams. For the entirety of the round, you are pushing defenders from one side, which is lack of pressure. Sure, against teams that don't know how to utilize vase spot, or against teams that don't know how to play in pool against hookah, when no attacker is pushing aqua or the double window, you might win the round. But the moment there is a guy on any of the spots, your plan will be denied. What has to be done is to open up VIP wall, so the vase player is occupied with more angles. You also should open up the pool's double window. Having pool window and two people pushing hookah whilst two people pushing from VIP gives several options for your team. If you have smoke grenades, you can even smoke off pool and pinch the defenders by vase. A very similar thing is if you're doing the pool push from aqua. If you won't be contesting players by vase or hookah, then they will have an easy time denying your plant. Sometimes, contesting just means opening up a barricade and rotate. And with this being said, that's the other part of not putting enough pressure. Do you open up consulate's lobby double doors when doing a roam hunt from admin? Do you open up yellow doors? What about archives window from the soda side? If you do not open any of the barricades, then you're making roam hiding a lot harder. You are allowing roamers to safely rotate towards the objective, A from Visa, and B from Yellow. Opening up lobby doors forces defenders to play in toilet or to rotate immediately to spiral bottom stairs. For a reminder, you don't even need to have a player there for the entirety of the time. Just opening up the barricades will do the trick in the 90% of the time. Even for that 10%, when you rotate a player to the open barricade, the defender won't get any notification for that, and will usually grant a free kill. Here are a few examples of the early opening barricades that you most likely are not doing. Clubhouse, double doors by lobby, and main stairs window. Villa, 90 windows. Let's talk about something very important, being a chicken. You cannot hesitate in a situation, you need to make a choice. Man up, in most situations you need to fight the angle. The more you wait, the more options you're giving for the attackers. If someone was drawn out deeper in the penthouse and you're repelling by big window, go, contest him whilst repelling upside down. You can peek him from the side of the window, and you're basically choosing from where to peek. Letting him pass away is losing a free kill. Another option is if you have your team pushing from the VIP balcony to have passive angles onto theater. So his rotate to theater is close from you, and the rotate towards VIP is close from your teammates. This way you're enabling crossfires onto that guy, from the VIP for the penthouse walls. But you, on the windows, had the upper advantage over him. And you don't want to lose him on sight. On the other hand, for the 10%, if someone was drowned in showers on Oregon when attacking basement objectives, think a safe angle onto the hallway is better than pushing him directly. Pushing him through the door is predictable. However, having Buck, Sledge, Zofia, Resh, or you name it, opening up the side walls of showers guarantees you the kill. Preparation phase drones will come very handy here, and I will talk about it in the other section. But not letting defenders know you have drawn them is better than having a visual information where the defender is and that he knows that he was drawn out. So if you hear movement in showers, that's better than risking the defender hearing your sound of the drone. Just a quick notice, if you had a drone by this drone hole and you saw a defender pacing toward the west side, the moment action phase starts, have someone on the drone checking if the defender will go back. If he didn't, then get your team towards small tower and let another guy to drone the roamer, whilst you're continuously being on the drone by the drone hole. This way you know if he went back or not. More about this will be put a bit later. We can talk about this already, but whenever it is possible, do not go for just 1 versus 1s. I had given you an example of when you can do 1 versus 1s, when the defender is in a huge disadvantage and when he can escape. But on the other examples, we haven't done 1 versus 1s. Forcing 1 versus 1s, or too much manning up is often detriment to your team. Like the Oregon one. If you will die instead of watching hallway, the defender just go a full control to rotate anywhere. Not only you will lose a man, but also a lot of time. Another example, let's go to Villa in this closet. If you know that the defender is there, facing him from window is a slight advantage for him, as he can pre-fire you since he chooses when to start the gunfight. However, being on the other window, holding him to rotate back, whilst your team can easily kill him from the toilet's window is recommended. It is important not to be tunnel vision during whatever you are doing. Be aware of all possible angles, or in this case, a defender by the Astro, or C4 underneath. A perfect item to mention for a bigger part of the community. Non-5 stacks, all way to solo queue. A huge issue for the attack, but also for defense is that you're relying too much on your team. The best way to use your teammates, the random ones, is for a refrag tool. And the mentality should be, anything extra from them is just a bonus. It is not recommended to set your goals based on the third-party achievements. Your round should not be dependent only if your random termite opens versus doesn't open up the wall, or if your random Ash and Zofia cannot clear out the roamers. I know that this is, after all, a heavy team-based game, and most of you will think, what about the 20 seconds meta? To be honest with you, there is no 20 seconds meta in ranked. The only useful data from this useless graph you can take is, and it is taken from the platinum and higher elo, is how people don't know how to play complex operators such as Goyo, Smoke, Clash, Castle, etc. All the 20 seconds meta operators. The only thing you had to deal with in the most matches is either Barbed Wires or Malusi's Whoop Whoop. So if you're not in a 5 stack, stop basing your plans dependent on the randoms. At least base as less as possible. Many people are afraid of going out of their comfort zone, and that's a huge bad habit. If you're just copying what most people are doing because it works, such as if you're always attacking Villa from study and vertical, that's going to be very easy to counter. If there is a clash and smoke by the top main stairs, and overall a strat that consists of this utility, and much more, you aren't going to push through study, trust me. You need to change your playstyle, at least change it the next round. Start pushing from bedroom and 90, and not from study. Adaptation is key in this game. If there is a reason why Siege is as good as it is because you can do one thing in 10 different ways. And I'm just asking you to find at least 2 of them. Some strats also cannot work if, let's say, one of your teammates got spawn peeked. If a hard breacher got deleted on consulate, you're not opening up the garage's wall, so doing archives and cafe push is mandatory. Most people, aside from the Ash mains, know that you need to play for the objective. However, you need to realize when not to play for the objective. Playing objective means you will force defenders getting in your way. You will force defenders to be attackers, which will put them at a huge disadvantage. So when not to plan. There are always exceptions in rules, aside in math and physics, but here are 3 rules that you can follow in the most situations. Do not plant if you have less people allied than opponents and you haven't cleared out both of the objectives. Example, Villa. If you're taking games in Aviator, you need to clear out both objectives and vault to plant if outnumbered. 2. If the plant can be denied from below, and you haven't cleared them. Do not plant if you did not clear most of the objective floor you're planning to plant. The main reason is you'll be using elevated surface to plant, and since you're not safe from every possible angle on that floor, you have to clear that whole floor before the plant. And finally, 3. Do not plant if there are 15 seconds remaining and you feel the defender is near you. You can use plant to bait. And just again for a reminder, every rule has its exceptions, so don't follow this just blindly. We'll have 2 more things before the other group, which will be shorter. A lot of people just assume how rooms are cleared and don't drone them thoroughly. Or on the other spectrum, people drone too much. Let's take LD, assuming rooms are clear. Don't. How often were you killed by a random dude in a random room, and you're asking, why would anyone be there? The reason why anyone will be there is that he knows you're lazy to drone something that can be expected to be cleared. On the contrary, there is no point of droning if no one of your teammates can get direct or indirect usage of it. By direct, that means someone is close to the drone or intel so he can act upon it. Or indirect, you had seen 2 people going on the second floor on coastline, and you have droned out Aqua, Pool, and Hookah. You indirectly know that someone will be on the second floor of the coastline. The other thing won't be that long. Pre-fire more. This comes more the more you understand the map. In dying seconds of the round, you can expect people to be playing on certain positions. Don't be afraid of pre-firing because you won't give out your location, as most likely you're already on the known position. How often are you in a situation just described before? 30 seconds and you just started pushing for the objective. Time efficiency is the key in the attack. And it all comes from the planning beforehand. There are usually 3 steps of every attack. I have explained more in depth about this in the video in the top right corner. But in short, you need to clear roamers, clear utility, and then execute. To do this perfectly, you need to get inside of the preparation phase with a plan. From where to put the preparation phase drones, flank drones, to how to set up crossfires onto roamers and how to execute. I'll put in-depth videos about all of the topics in the description, so make sure to check them out. Preparation phase drones allows you to get full floor control during the preparation phase. Flank drones allows dead people to watch your flanks. Coordination allows you to make crossfires. Usually you want to have one guy denying rotations back to the side. That's pretty much it. In short, why all this stuff is very important for the time efficiency. But if you want to see powerful preparation phase drone locations on all the rank maps, as well as how to roam clear, head on to the description.